ritual or the Thoth meditation or the Thoth hypnosis. To me, that's like my favorite. But the Bornless ritual one is also an amazing, like hypnotic document. Like what you're reading, just now is, anything about Gnosticism is like to me very beneficial and cool, relaxing, academic, intelligent. I don't know why people don't value it, but if you do Hermeticism or Gnosticism or you read documents related to Hermeticism, I think it's pretty amazing poetry. I mean, it's supposed to be magic, so.
I mean, I do have a copy of The Power of Now as well that I could read from too, because I was waiting to read it again anyway.
See, the problem is we want to eliminate a lot of the filler words from a lot of authors' books. Like we want to feed in 25,000 pages and then read what ChatGPT can condense it into, like the most significant, information.
True, because Eckhart Tolle does use a lot of filler words.
That's why I have the flashcards with Eckhart Tolle. I mean, I think The Power Now is awesome, but yeah, I mean, the flashcards to me are really powerful. I do also have biblical flashcards. I love reading these biblical flashcards with like verses from Psalms and Proverbs and basically from all around the Bible. Like to me, that's like a very quick way to induce a trance hypnosis. And it's very powerfully, therapeutic. Basically, I would say that there is a connection between trance and hypnosis and therapy. That the faster you can induce somebody into like a trance state, that implies that it deals more with self or God. Like, I think they're just connected. In terms of like the power of the hypnosis. Like, I could read you the flashcards. Anyways, go ahead. If you want to read something, go for it. If you have something queued up.
Oh, I had nothing particularly in mind. I just was like, oh, I have the book. Maybe I should read something from it.
Yeah, that.
But now I want to read like.
So I want to do book club on this app, and like just like read one page, read 3 pages, and then let's talk about it. But like, I think that would be like, to me, that's like the best way to use this app. Is like each person reads 1 to 3 pages, and then you talk about it. Then the next person.
Yeah, that would be cool. Yeah, I wanted to do that before, and I tried to recruit people, but it kind of fell through the cracks. But I like that. That's a good idea.
Okay, so I also have the Quran. Have you ever heard the Quran? Or I had it. I put it in the.
I mean, I have a copy of it, but I haven't like heard it read. No.
It is also a very powerful book, and I've heard Christopher Hitchens just say it's like trash and it's a ripoff and it's copyright infringement, basically. Like it's bullshit. But when you read it, you're just like, damn, like this is some pretty intense, extreme shit. So like if you do read it, and like you are living over there, I could see how people use it to like basically, sacrifice their lives in what they consider as some type of a quest, because the information in it is extremely bigoted and prejudiced. It's not all peace and love. It's like wage war and stay away from the infidels. It's basically what it says. Like there's a lot in it where you're like, damn, like, this is basically extremist material in terms of relativity and perspective, like all, anyways. So this is the Adrian Dittman Show. It's now 7:21 p.m. and I wanted to order a pizza, but my favorite pizza parlor is closed on Monday and Tuesday. I don't know. I still feel like I got to eat something. And my tire on my car is flat. So like every day I have to fill up the tire on my car until basically I get it replaced, because I've had it fixed. That didn't work anymore. So I think I just need to get a new tire, or two new tires. The other tires are like so nice. I'm like, ugh, I don't want to replace all the tires. And I know you can't just replace one tire. Are you Jewish, Rachel?
I'm Native American and white, so I don't know. Yeah, I'm not Jewish though. But we also recently discovered, well, here's the thing, because people always ask me this. We found out recently that one of our great ancestors or whatever, the line that we come from was descended from one time they had captured a Spaniard, my tribe. And then that Spaniard fell in love with the daughter of one of the chiefs. And that's where we stem from. So I was like, curious. I've always been curious. Like, I wonder if he was a Sephardic Jew, maybe. Because he was from Spain. And we don't really know a lot about him. So I don't know.
Yeah. I don't know. That's the thing. It's like, does it really matter? No. It's like, did you ever read a book?
Right.
Yeah. I read a book about it.
So do you mostly just read all these sacred texts? Or, do you read any, like, fiction ever?
Honestly, I would say that all these sacred texts are like ancient sci-fi. Because Star Wars, is all about the Force, and all these like ancient sacred texts deal with the Force, or like mind over matter in a way. It's all theoretical though. Like, does reading these things change anything? Or does it maintain anything? Or does it take away from anything? You always have to evaluate your opportunity costs for doing what you're doing. Like, that's why I say, like, Elon's crazy to do what he does and know that people are filming it. And he can't stop me from filming him. And I'm surprised other people are filming him. I don't know. Have you gone on YouTube and actually typed in Adrian Dittman yet?
No, I just Googled.
Yeah, go on YouTube, type in Adrian Dittman, and then go to the shorts, and then you'll see all my videos, and just hit follow, just scroll, hit follow, and you'll follow like a ton of Adrian Dittman YouTube accounts.
Okay, cool. I found the one that I want to read, actually. So I like this one, Concerning Death. Is that okay?
Yeah, go for it.
Okay. Pull it back up. Here we go. This is Baphomet 11, Book 106, Concerning Death. An epistle of Baphomet to the illustrious Dame Anna Wright, companion of the Holy Grail, shining like the moon, concerning death, that she and her sisters may bring comfort to all them that are nigh death, and unto such as love them. Sorry, what is he? What do you need?
You're my mama, too.
Yes, I am your mom. Okay, hold on. Let me lock the front door, because I just realized it's unlocked. There we go. Yeah. Okay. I'm going to read this, okay? In my room. Okay, there we go. Sorry. Beloved daughter and sister, do what thou wilt shall be the whole of the law. Let it be thy will and the will of all them that tend upon the sick, to comfort and to fortify them with these words following. It is written in the book of the law, every man and every woman is a star. It is Our Lady of the Stars that speaketh to thee, O thou that art a star, a member of the body of Nuit. Listen, for thine ears become dull to the mean noises of the earth. The infinite silence of the stars woos thee with subtle music. Behold her bending down above thee, a flame of blue, all touching, all penetrant, her lovely hands upon the black earth, and her lithe body arched for love, and her soft feet not hurting the little flowers. And think that all thy grossness shall presently fall from thee as thou leapest to her embrace, caught up into her love as a dewdrop into the kisses of a sunrise. Is not the ecstasy of Nuit the consciousness of the community of existence, the omnipresence of her body? All that has hurt thee was that thou knewest it not, and as that fadeth from thee, thou shalt know as never yet how all is one. Again she saith, I give unimaginable joys upon earth, certainty, not faith, while in life upon death. This thou hast known. Time that eateth his children hath not power on them that would not be children of time. To them that think themselves immortal, that dwell away in eternity, conscious of Nuit, throned upon the chariot of the sun, there is no death that men call death. In all the universe, darkness is only to be found in the shadow of gross and opaque planet. As it wore for a moment, the universe itself is a flood of light eternal. So also death is but through accident. Thou hast hidden thyself in the shadow of thy gross body, and taking it for reality, thou hast trembled. But the orb revolveth anon, the shadow passeth away from thee. There is the dissolution, and the eternal ecstasy in the kisses of new. For inasmuch as thou hast made the law of freedom thine, as thou hast lived in light and liberty and love, thou hast become a free man of the cities of the stars. Should I keep going?
Yeah, what are you reading? The Book of the Law?
This is called, hold on. It's called Concerning Death, book 106.
Yeah, but this is Crowley.
Yeah, Baphomet 11 it says.
Oh, I see. Okay.
And there's 3 parts to it. So I read part 1, then there's a smaller part 2, and then a part 3. Here, should I keep going then?
Yeah, go for it.
We got, okay, part 2. Listen again to thine own voice within thee. Is not Hadith the flame that burns in every heart of man, and in the core of every star? Is not he life, and the giver of life? And is not therefore the knowledge of him the knowledge of death? For it hath been shown unto thee in many other places how death and love be twins. Now art thou the hunter, and death rideth beside thee with his horse and spear, as thou chasest thy will through the forests of eternity, whose trees are the hair of Nuit, thy mistress. Thrill with the joy of life and death. Know, hunter mighty and swift, the quarry turns to bay. Thou hast but to make one sharp thrust, and thou hast won. The virgin of eternity lies supine at thy mercy, and thou art Pan. Thy death shall be the seal of the promise of our age-long love. Hast thou not striven to the inmost in thee? Death is the crown of all. Pardon, fold up thyself, lift thine head, breathe not so deep, die. Or art thou still entangled with the thorny plaits of wild briar rose that thou hast woven in thy magic dance on earth? Art not thine eyes strong enough to bear the starlight? Must thou linger yet a while in the valley? Must thou dally with the shadows of death? Then if it be thy will, thou hast no right but to do thy will. Love still these phantoms of the earth. Thou hast made thyself a king. If it please thee to play with toys of matter, were they not made to serve thy pleasure? Then follow in thy mind the wondrous word of the still of revealing itself. Return if thou wilt from the abode of the stars. Dwell with mortality, and feast thereon. For thou art this day Lord of heaven and of earth. The dead man, I don't know what this is. Ankh Nakonsu? Afek Nakonsu? I don't know. Something. Excuse me. I'm choking. Saith with his voice of truth and calm. Hold on. Sorry. I ruined it. Okay. Saith with his voice of truth and calm, O thou that hast a single arm, O thou that glitterest in the moon, I weave thee in the spinning charm, I lure thee with the billowy tune. The dead man, on Efnankonsu, hath parted from the darkling crowd, hath joined the dwellers of the night, opening Duant the star abodes, their keys receiving. The dead man hath made his passage into night, his pleasure on the earth to do among the living. Love is the law, love under will. It says, the benediction of the all-begetter, all-devourer be upon thee, Baphomet 10 OTO. Anyway, and then it just says, given under our hand in the still this day, of a 12 the sun our father being in Leo, and the moon in Pisces, from the throne of Ireland, Iona, and all the Britons, that is the sanctuary of the Gnosis. Okay, then. Yeah, I don't know how to say that name. Maybe you can pronounce it. Here, I'll put it in the chat.
Yeah, I think it's Anka Fankansu.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Because this is how it...
The deities in Thelema are Nuit, Hadit, Ra, Hor, Kuit. So it's like you knew it and you had it. And Ra is always God. So in all these words that use Ra. So you always knew it and you always had it, which is God.
Yeah, what I love too about all this like healing and stuff, that I used to think like, I used to phrase it in terms of, okay, I'm going to heal myself and help others heal, but I've changed the wording to say, I'm going to activate that, not just me, but like we all can activate the tools that are already in us in order to heal and come back to remembering that we are all one, right? And so we can just, it's not like we're helping someone heal, we're just helping them realize they have it within themselves. Kind of. I don't know. But man, it is, I don't know, this, it's just a contemplation I've been thinking about the last couple of days because of our conversations. It's so wild to think about the journey my kids are on, you know, because it's the hardest thing to be like, oh, all these great truths that I now know, I want to pass on to my children. But at the same time, it's like most of it they're not going to get. And so life experience is the best teacher. And I'm just realizing more and more like how I could have done things. But instead of like dwelling in the past and beating myself up for it, I'm like going forth with a renewed spirit of, okay, I'm going to take charge of what I'm doing with my children in a way that I really haven't so far, you know? So I've been thinking a lot about that, like, how do you impart wisdom? But I guess the best tool is to embody it. And by embodying it, and they hear me reading these things and talking about these things, it'll seep in to their consciousness, you know, somehow.
Well, if your kids see you reading, they're going to want to mirror you. So, you know, if you're in charge, you take charge and you lead by example, and just by osmosis, they'll learn, but then they'll start imitating you because you are their primary, you know, designer and instructor. So the more you read, the more they'll read. And if you, especially before bed, it'll be like your ritual, you know. My mom used to read to me. I know a lot of people's parents that read to their kids, you know, that's like a definite, like, you know, ritual, but it takes effort. It takes time. You have to calm them down. But like, if you can get them into that groove, I bet you they'll even reject that because it's like, no, I'm ready for bed. Just, you know, who knows?
Yeah.
It'll be like,
Well,
it's like a constant game.
Yeah, I used to read, I read to them a lot, and the last year I kind of dropped it. And I don't know why. So, but I read to them a lot of fiction is what we read. But the thing we would do was I would read the story, and then we would discuss the story and like what we liked, what we learned, this and that. And then sometimes they wanted to tell their own story. So then we would take turns telling a story to each other. And so, yeah, but yeah, I need to get back on that. But also, I remember when Sabrina was younger, I was very highly meditative and into spiritual things and stuff like that. And so I have this cute little video that I came across recently where I go into her room and she was meditating on her own at like 4 years old. It was the cutest thing. She was just sitting there, in like a lotus position and just with her eyes closed and doing deep breaths and meditating. I was like, oh, I love that. And then she always would say these, like one time she goes, Mom, around the same time, and she goes, Mom, you know what? It's weird. And I said, what? And she goes, we're all living in a dream. I was like, I'll never forget that she said that.
Okay, doke. Well, I could read
What
something.
time does Adrian Dittman get on?
He gets online at like 8 o'clock, 8 CST every night.
Oh, okay. So it's 7:39 over here now, CST.
Yeah, he goes live in like 20 to 30 minutes. He cooks a steak with butter. He eats that. He said one time he didn't take a shit for 2 days because all he does is eat steaks. He buys the meat. He freezes the meat. You know, on his Instagram, I saw some photo of him. He posted a photo with like a county representative. It's like you can actually like, I'm pretty sure you can figure out where he lives, like outside of Austin, based on pictures and SpaceX and, you know, his commute time and all that stuff. So,
yeah, I'm going to Austin in January for my sister's baby shower because she lives in Austin.
Wow. Yeah, 6th Street there is awesome. So much fun. I love Austin. Oh, I had so much fun.
I heard that Tesla gives you tours of the factory, so that, like, I don't know, that might be cool. I'm gonna find out if they do.
Honestly, a beer factory is probably more fun than a Tesla factory.
But my kid is so like in love with Teslas. Like she would be so excited, I bet, if we win.
Yeah, they are pretty cool. I mean, God, you know what though? Like owning, I don't know. I mean, maybe in 20 years, like what will these cars be like? Because my Lexus is 22 years old, 23 years old now. And like that fucking thing is like failing, you know? It's just like it's beaten up at this point. Like nothing is working. It's like constantly. I mean, it still works, but see what I'm saying? Like, it's like these cell phones hit capacity even, and they stop working. Like, you're like, where did all my memory go? Like, why is this battery now dead? You know? And it's like, boom, your car doesn't work anymore, and you're like, holy shit. People that drive Priuses for like 200,000 miles, like next thing you know, their battery's dead, and they're just like, fuck. Like, my car's fucked.
I know, right? You know, I'm curious. What do you think of vision boards? Because I used to mock vision board, and then last year I made one. But I don't know. What are your thoughts?
You know, if you practice magic, you could like meditate the names of the angels, like Metatron, Raphael, Sandalphon, and you could like do the meditation on your vision board.
Ooh.
Yeah, and you could ask the angel, you know, but while you're visualizing, you know, and looking at it. I don't think you need to like ask, you know, because like what you're doing is using the vision board instead of using the words and then just doing the vibrations of the names. You could do, you know, Jehovah and look at the vision board. You could do Yahweh, Jehovah. Like those would be very powerful, you know, magical sigils to mix with your vision board.
Yeah, I kind of regret that I did this, but in like 2016, 2017. No, I'm regretting that I took this all down. But is he calm? I can. Okay. Your hand is super cold. Oh my god.
I need to get more.
Okay. No, see my back is really hurting me right now. I have that sharp pain that is not going away. Remember? I can't hold it. Not forever, but anyway. No. I had printed out, it was when I was getting into Buddhism and Hinduism and things like that, and I printed a bunch of, or not printed, I made like almost like a scrapbooking stuff. I made a list of all these like sacred phrases and chants and incantations, and I put them like all over my mirror, all over my wall by my bed, and then I would put inspirational quotes from people about things or maybe like Power Now or other stuff. Like, I just like went all out, and it was great to wake up and just see all that stuff around me. But then when I went through a really hard period in 2018 or 2017, 2018, and I got mad. I was like, man, all this shit is bullshit, and then I just went on a rampage and tore it all down. But like now I'm regretting that because I was doing so good when I embraced all that kind of stuff and was doing chants and things like that. So like I don't know, maybe I'll just redo it. I'll put new chants, make it all over again.
Well, definitely get like the names of the 10 angels or 12 angels. Try like a Kabbalistic chanting thing. See how that works.
Yeah. And it's funny too because one of the people I printed out, do you know Mark Duplass?
Mm-mm.
Okay, he's one of my favorite filmmakers, and he's just a great person all around, right? I've always wanted to work with him, and I put a picture of him on my vision board last year. And now he follows me on X because I kept commenting on his stuff. And I have a funny story because he DM'd me during Christmas time because he commented about tipping your servers. And I was like, as a server, like, I really appreciate this. Yeah, people don't tip that great all the time. And so he messages me and says what's my Venmo because he wants to give me a tip. And I totally thought someone hacked his account, right? There's no way this filmmaker is, like, messaging me. So I went on Instagram and I commented and I said, hey, I think someone hacked your account because somebody writing on their account is asking me for my Venmo. And he responded and said, no, that's really him. He chose several people to give a tip to for Christmas. So anyway, so then after that, he started following me. So I was like, ooh, like I just found on my vision board, and within a couple months, we have this connection on X or whatever. I thought that was cool. But he's great because he's always saying, look, you don't have to have a ton of money to make a movie. They got a short once into Sundance Film Festival that only cost them $3 for it. They bought the tape and they borrowed their parents' camcorder and they made a really grungy looking short film and it still got into Sundance. This was before he was well known. So I just love that story.
Okay, just retweeted a bunch of your like X content. Yeah, if you want to get on Elon's platform, you need to up the pro Adrian Dittman, pro Elon Musk content, and you might stand a chance.
Okay.
You may penetrate his security bubble.
There's something too that I think, and this stuff I do have to be careful what I say but God, I would love to delve into like, I think there's a very powerful, magical, spiritual component to my psychotic episodes. And the only reason I would hesitate to say that is, I don't know, people probably think, oh, she's just going to get off her meds and she's going to go crazy and she's going to indulge in these hallucinations. And it's like, no, I'm not saying that. I'm not trying to romanticize it. But I'm just like, I feel like there's a strong spiritual component to it that just gets dismissed. And I think if we want to help people manage it, we have to talk about it for what it is, not what we want it to be, I guess, if that makes sense. I don't know. But like, yeah, I just think there is a great mystery to the universe. And the way we interact with the psychotic episode, I think, is really fascinating. And it's just fascinating in and of itself. But yeah. Because
well, a psychotic episode, is like an index, meaning that like if you do psychotherapy or even if you have like homicidal ideation or suicidal ideation, it's still an index of severity. And I think it's tied to like depression, the inverse or mania, but really not being able to achieve, equilibrium, balance, harmony, joy, and just like, being psycho off the dopamine too. I mean, it's like, what you're doing, you may not know what you're doing, but either way, it's not behavior or thoughts which are, it's misaligned. I mean, it's not logical what you're doing, but you don't know that it's not logical, I suppose, or you're trying to figure out, if what you're doing is logical. I don't know. I mean, I've seen many people in manic, insane episodes, causing property damage, causing personal, physical damage to their bodies, attacking people. Any kind of activity like that, yeah, it's the worst form of psychotic episodes. I mean, then you have people that have psychotic episodes that aren't even necessarily like physical, but they're criminal. Like you work at a bank, and next thing you know, you're in the news because you money laundered $40 million out of the bank and made a fucking mini pony horse ranch. That was in the news recently.
Yeah, I mean, I think that okay, so I'm very analytical and introspective, obviously, and so every time I've had an episode, I've looked back and gone, okay, what are the behaviors that precede this episode? And now that I've had like 4 major ones and a couple smaller ones, it's like there's a pattern. There's a pattern of behavior that starts months in advance. And if people can start approaching their psychosis from this place of, I would like to understand the patterns, that is where you can start to stop it before it even gets full-blown psychotic. So that's the kind of things I would want to talk about with people is like, and I've done sort of a lot of research. And one thing is that in other cultures, they teach people to not be afraid of it. And that's a big part of it is like when I'm afraid, when I'm panicking about the fact that I'm psychotic, it definitely goes off the rails. But if I can't, it's really hard. It's really hard. But if you can stay calm and breathe through it, then you could kind of break its spell almost. You could kind of, like, I don't know. Yeah, anyway.
Well, I mean,
I definitely think it's about ground. You have to have very strong grounding techniques as well.
I mean, listen, I go to the gym and I lift weights. I know that if I didn't go to the gym and lift weights and do cardio and stretch, I would be psychotic. I'd be miserable. Like I would be suicidal if I was not trying to treat everything in my life, meaning that but honestly, there's something about exercise which wards off psychotic episodes, manic episodes, depressive episodes, because when you're doing all that pulling and pushing and sweating, you're really working your brain chemistry significantly. And so if you're just a couch person, or just a power walker, it's not enough, unfortunately. If you want to live a long time, unfortunately, you have to do this thing called exercise. I don't think there's any other alternative. You'll be lucky if maybe it's, who knows? Because I think it also depends on your demeanor, and how much stress you have in your life. My great grandparents lived 105, but I never saw them stressed once in their life. They were always they took baby steps. You know what I'm saying? They never rushed. but their house was built by the Sears catalog, you know, like, but I never saw them stressed. I don't know. They were born in, 1896 or something, but they lived to 105.
Yeah. Yeah, I think for people with the conditions that like I deal with, I need to. It's been a gradual taking baby steps with bounds, like leaps and bounds, sporadically, but mostly gradual. And that's what I've come to know about myself. Like, I'm not someone who can go take on 5 projects at once.
No.
I have to do things methodically. I have to do things one step at a time. Until I get better at it, and then I can take on more. Like, you got a man's, as Clint Eastwood, isn't it Clint Eastwood? A man's got to know his limitations. Dirty Harry, is that what it's from? I think. And it's another lie we tell ourselves, like, hey, I'm this old, I should be here. And it's like, get rid of that type of thinking. Like, that's just a limiting belief. And just start now. Like, where you're at and however old you're at.
Yeah, everybody's in the same now moment. And whether you're 85 or 25, that is the one. There's a couple shared common things that everybody deals with. One is body mechanics. Like, I've talked to so many people and they're like, yeah, like, my wife is on Ozempic. Like, I got horrible hip prop. Like, oh, Scott is here. Hi, Scott. Welcome to the Adrian Dittman Show. We're about to go live with Adrian Dittman on X Spaces in the room. Would you like to join us? We're monetizing Adrian. We've decided to retire and just become parasites on Elon Musk. I hope you approve.
Yeah, I'm going to attempt to infiltrate his inner circle.
So I am like a flea on the back of Elon Musk. I am a parasite known as Adrian Dittman, drinking from the well of Elon's $900 billion fortune. Scott, welcome to the Adrian Dittman Show. So we've been reading, exhausting ourselves reading. Rachel, how long have we been doing this today? Like 2-3 hours today, probably?
Probably, yeah, something like that.
I wish Scott would be more of a regular guest on the book club. But Scott, we have agreed that like reading 1 to 3 pages and then discussing is like a good way to do a show. So is there anything you want to read to the room? Cool. All right. Well, invite people to the room because I'm going to do a reading, a hypnosis, a meditation, a breathing exercise, a guided vibration of pleasure and joy from your taint and your tuchus to your pineal and your third eye.
What? Scott. She said, oh, Scott, I heard you died. You should say, rumors of my death have been highly exaggerated.
I had to cover up. Look at Rachel or Rachel. She copied your name. I had to like delete one of your comments earlier, Rachel, because you said something, related to self-harm. So I had to delete that. Please don't make any unhealthy comments. Like,
hey. Oh, the follower or me?
Not you, the lamb in the chat. Yeah, like nothing negative in the chat, please, Rachel. But, you have a stalker now, Rachel. Congratulations.
Well, it wouldn't be my first one. Like, for real?
Well, you're just collecting stalkers. I'm an Adrian Dittman stalker, technically. I'm an Elon Musk parasite trying to get, monetized by Elon. But the algorithm hates Elon.
So, okay, you mentioned about the commonality between the different ages is the present, this is the now, or whatever. So I'm curious what you think about this. I have a theory about deja vu because I will get these moments where it's like, I've been here before. I've talked to this person. I've taken this step before, and I've always wondered where does that come from. But we have the now, right now, the present moment. Our past selves also experience the now. Our present self and our future selves also have their own present. But technically, it's all the same thing. It's just all the present. So I think when you get deja vu, you're connecting to your future self, and it's sending you memories to confirm that you're on the right path. That's what I like to think of as deja vu. It's kind of a fun way to think about it.
Can you summarize that in one sentence, please?
Okay, deja vu is us connecting with our future selves that are sending us memories to tell us that we're on the right path.
Yeah, I've heard that if you have a deja vu moment, it's like a indicator that things are going well. I've heard there's other things like that as well, like omens, basically. Scott, what do you think about omens? Oh man, you're at the movies. Oh, I thought you were sitting in a movie theater listening to Clubhouse. Oh, that would have been funny. Yeah, what a waste, right? What a waste of time that would be to listen to Clubhouse. I flattered myself. Thought you were at the theater listening. You're like, this movie's interesting, but honestly, whatever Adrian and Rachel are saying, God, I gotta listen to it too. I'm an information dopamine live streaming addict.
What was I going to say? Oh, you said sometimes it's an indicator that things are going well. Technically, I don't know if that's exactly what because it just doesn't necessarily mean things are going well or good, quote unquote. It just means that you're in the right place, that this is the path you're supposed to be on, because sometimes it could be something goes, bad, but it's a lesson. It's an opportunity for growth. And so you know what I mean? So it's not judging the present moment as well or good or bad or not. It's just you're in the right place to either grow or learn a lesson, maybe. More what I'm thinking. But I also have this, sorry, I'm all hyped up. I'm talking. Yeah, no, I also love this thing I was reading. Before I used to wonder, how is it that people can go through a lot of shit, and for me, I crumbled at it, but obviously I was all fragile because of my past or whatever, which I won't get into because everybody knows about already. Anyway, I would see some people who, no matter what happened, they were still good or whatever. And I used to wonder, how did they get there? How does that work? Because even when quote unquote bad stuff happens, they're still okay. And I realized it's because when you view everything in these two lights. One, whatever is meant for you will be for you. And if it's not meant for you, then you have to let it go. And then two, because the people that are strong and resilient have thought through so much shit, they get to this place where they're like, hey, I know I'm going to be good because it's either going to be something that leads to abundance in my life, whether that's money, relationships, whatever, or it's going to lead to learning and growth. If you just view everything like that, then when bad shit happens, you're just like, okay, cool. I'm just going to learn some lessons. I'm just going to grow. I'm going to change a little bit, pivot, whatever. Then you're good because it's you get to this point where you're so grounded in yourself and you're so strong and resilient that you're like, hey, I can get through anything. And then that's how you can say, hey, everything is good because everything is either for growth or for success. So anyway, yeah. So yeah, I stopped trying to say this thing happened and it's bad. I've been really trying to just say this thing happened and then just leave it alone at that.
Yeah, they say that like the cracked egg emits light. So a lot of trauma experiences is what's cracking everybody's egg, and that's what allows the light to shine through, which really creates humility. And you'll hear a lot of you'll hear a lot of haters, but you'll also hear a lot of just arrogant people who I think are just getting high on dopamine. And to even take anybody seriously on this app is stupid. Maybe even to try to correct people on this app is a total waste of your own time. It's just like your opportunity cost. But if you like somebody and you want to try to give them some good life advice, that's nice. But most people just reject it.
You know what most people don't reject?
What?
You can guess.
I think I know. Were you going to say sex?
No, I was going to say my date.
Although some people do. Some people have rejected that from me. So yeah.
Never. Adrian, I did a very important podcast today.
Scott, I know you're leading the deep state Patriots room. I see you in there with your mod. I know that you're a ringleader in an ultra progressive, liberal, Democrat, Marxist, communist, socialist effort to redistribute all my wealth. Please, Scott, refrain from the wealth redistribution scheme you have in store for you and me, okay? Just FYI. I got bigger and better plans for us, Scotty. You're not going to have to worry about some mediocre Federal Reserve Treasury redistribution scheme.
What about my taint?
That's what I'm saying. We're going to surgically remove your taint, dip it in gold, take a Bitcoin, glue it in there.
How do you know it's not gold already?
Well, 24 karat, 19 karat, 20 karat. Listen, the point is, we're going to put your taint on eBay. I think we're looking at a multi-million-dollar artistic sale of your taint. Tell us, how does your taint feel right now?
It feels like it's being prostituted.
Tickled?
You don't. Or do you have a Princess Bride lock on it?
I have a fortress. I build a wall around it to keep out the murderers and the rapists. They all want to come to my taint. The Mexicans come and they want to get around it, and they want to be there and rape and murder on the taint.
Oh my god, that was such an accident. I accidentally deleted your thing that you share.
Scott regularly holds a taint party. Scott, what's your favorite thing to do at a taint party?
Oh, I stroke it and wax and buff it.
You don't paint it? That would be my favorite thing to do.
No, it gets irritated.
I'd be willing to bet that you don't even trim your taint.
I shave it.
You actually, what? How do you shave it? Like in the shower, in the bathtub, on your bed?
My friend.
Interesting.
Yeah. It's annoying to have to do that. It feels, I just,
Scott.
I'm just always so afraid that I'm going to injure myself. So anyway.
Scott, be honest. Have you ever dropped a load in the shower?
No, I have not. What, you mean,
pinched a turd?
No.
Never? Not even a little baby, spray?
Never has a tortoise ever popped his head out the shell.
Have you seen all the Monty Python movies? like, you know, Life of Brian, Quest for the Holy Grail. Have you seen all those?
Yes.
What about you, Rachel? Have you seen flying circus movies?
I've seen The Quest for the Holy Grail. I don't think I've seen the other one.
Yeah, Life of Brian, definitely one of the funniest movies ever made. Very funny movie. Have you ever seen, you know, you were talking about trans. There's a scene in there where one of the actors says he wants to be a woman. It's a very funny scene. Scott, you know what I'm talking about, right?
So apparently, it's 8:08, but there was no Adrian Dittman did not start a conversation.
Yeah, sometimes it comes in a little bit late, you know. We'll see what happens. But big things are happening politically. You know, we're probably going into like one of the most bizarre moments in human history. If there's some type, like, Scott, did you see like 5,000 North Koreans died in Ukraine over the past like 72 hours fighting in the Kursk region? You guys at the Deep State Patriot Room aren't keeping tabs on North Korean, murder, death, kill KIAs in Ukraine. These Ukrainians, man, wow, they really know how to fucking fight.
I have withdrawn from the Deep State Room and started the Deep Taint Room.
The detained room, the detente. What was it called? A dilettante or detente? What is it called when you have peace like between two armies? It's like a detente. Is that what it is? It's like a pause in the war or something. Like, I think, didn't the Americans and the Vietnamese have some kind of like peace negotiation in Paris? It was called like the Vietnamese peace detente. Are all wars a result of taint envy, Scott?
I do not have taint envy. I have a glorious taint.
Is taint envy really just penis envy because the taint and the penis are so close together?
No, it's very distinct.
Do you know what they call the taint in Hebrew? No.
They say a wall is medieval. Well, so is a wheel. A wheel is older than a wall. Although she does have a very nice ring. I've said that if Ivanka weren't my daughter, perhaps I'd be dating her.
It's so weird.
I went to an Ivy League school. I'm very highly educated. I know words and the best words. We now have a gun on every table. We're ready to start shooting. June of 1775. The Continental Congress created a unified army. Our army manned the air. It ran the ramparts. It took over the airports. The kidney has a very special place in the heart. It's an incredible thing. You know what uranium is, right? This thing called nuclear weapons and other things. Like lots of things are done with uranium.
What do you think of that, Adrian?
I love it. I love creative content, and I think it's very funny. And it reminds me of George Bush, like the George Bush mashups, you know, but I get the feeling that George Bush is far more incompetent.
Bing. I love it.
Bing, bang,
I'm
bong,
sitting there
bong.
tweeting. Bing, bing, bing. You press a button. Bing, bing. They all hand you checks. Bing, 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 bing. We had our beautiful Marine standing there. Bing, 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 bing. You know, the old days. Bing, bong. You know, with the map. Bing, bing, bing. Little mouth on him. Bing, bing, bing. Bing, 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 bing. Bing, bing, bing. They're cleaning up. Except bing, bing, bing. A 14-point plan. Bing, bing, bing. Anthony Weiner. You know, the little bing, bing, bing. Everyone's attacked me has gone bing. Everyone else. Bing, where have they gone? Bing, wow, what a tackle.
Okay, what it is, man, it's up. Come on down, Larry. Listen to this, all right? In the doctor's office earlier, there's a guy sitting there, a skinhead, okay? He looks at me and he says, "What the fuck are you looking at, Jew boy? Fucking faggot." What? What you do? What I do? Yeah, what you do?
I slunk out.
Slunk
out. Slunk. I slunk out. So you didn't do shit and you punked out. That's what fuck happened, right? Yeah, I punked out. How'd that happen? What was I gonna do? The guy could have killed me. That's my man calling you a fucking faggot. You getting that ass, Larry. You know what I mean? You getting that ass, Larry. That's what the fuck you do. What are you talking about? You let that man slide today. You gotta immediately get in somebody's ass when that happens to you. You pull their asshole open, step into their asshole, close the door behind you. Take a spray paint can, right? Larry was here. You spray paint. Larry was here. Watch me. All that kind of shit. Fuck the whole asshole up. These snicker bars, some paper on the floor. We got newspaper, all the paper, newspaper, and throw newspaper on the floor. Fuck his whole asshole up. You know what I'm saying? You open that asshole one more time. Open it again. Open that asshole again. Oh! Step out his ass. Gotta leave that motherfucker wide open so you know you've been there. Open it up. Step in the asshole. Larry was here. Leave garbage, Snickers, eat Snickers, leave garbage. Fuck it. Get out. Open it up again. Yeah, step out the asshole. Step out. Don't close that motherfucker. Leave it open so you know you've been there. You feel me? I got you. That's how you handle people. Get in that ass, Larry. Don't worry. All right. Okay.
You gotta get in that ass, Adrian. You gotta get in that ass.
No, that he's actually coming to Chicago in March. DJ, what's his name? Anyways, I used to see him play basketball with Chris Brown in some kind of celebrity league at the sports club at LA on Sepulveda. DJ.
Wait a second, the Deep State's meeting and they're discussing Gaza.
DJ Smooth is his name.
Allahu Akbar. Allahu Akbar. جدا 17 يوم 17 5 2013 الله اكبر الله اكبر الله اكبر الله اكبر الله اكبر الله اكبر عليك بالسماء الله اكبر يا بروج 17 5 2013
What do you think of that?
Do you think we've been leading a genocide against Muslims?
No, I think if Israel's leading a genocide, they're bad at it.
I know, but like 9/11, do you think Israel tricked America into invading Iraq
No,
or Afghanistan?
no, I think that was just a bad idea.
Yeah, I agree. I don't think it was a bad idea. I mean, if 9/11 is real, I just don't think they should have.
No, look, I don't think it was a bad idea to hunt Bin Laden. I don't think it was a bad idea to disable the Taliban. I think it was a bad idea to send an occupying force necessarily, especially into Iraq. Afghanistan, I mean, at the end, though, I don't know that we should pull out because we only had 2,000 special forces. I mean, it's not, we saw people in freaking Korea, Japan. I mean, I think, by the way, this is a sentiment I like to share about my own spiritual practice.
Say face down, ass up. That's the way we like to fuck. Face down, ass up. Let me hear you say face down, ass up. That's the way we like to fuck. Face down, ass up. That's the way we like to fuck. I'm looking for a bitch to spend the night. Do the crazy thing while I fuck all night. I'm making do things like that before, and when I'm done, chill on the face off the things I do when I'm fucking. And when I'm tired, bitches are saying I know a team with a friend of mine. Sit by your house and hide. Ride you like a pony. Why you suck my dick? Making me horny. Then all of a sudden we'll switch positions. Prop your ass up and freeze the push. And then when I
Okay, we're going to transform that clip. Okay, I had to turn my volume down because I think it was about to ruin my live streams. Yep, I think you ruined one of my live streams with the copyright. Fuck.
What?
Yeah, you can't play copyrighted music when you live stream, unfortunately.
All right. What about this?
Text your bitch ass and you ain't responding to nothing. My girls already done put me up on your ass tonight, nigga. You get home, I got some food for your bitch ass. Why you coming home 5 in the morning? Something's going on. Can I smell your dick? Don't play me like a fool, 'cause that ain't cool. So what you need to do is let me smell your dick. Why you coming home 5 in the morning? What's going on? Can I smell your dick? Don't play me like a fool, 'cause that ain't cool. So what you need to do is let me smell your dick. 4 o'clock and I'm sleeping. It's late night, you creeping. You could have told me I'm leaving. Now do you rise and cheating? Why you gotta do me like that? When I call you, don't call me back. Texting you like, nigga, where you at? That's fucked up. Why you do me like that? I can't sleep and you tricking. And it's so dirty for bitches. My girl was in, she witnessed. She had a camera phone, she took pictures. You was on the dance floor grinding. With a stripper holding name diamond. You was saucing hard, you was shining. Everything she drank, you buying. Fuck nigga, you need to stop time. Before I get mad and pull out my 9. You want a new bitch to fuck, then that's fine. But don't fuck hers and try to fuck mine. You keep telling me you ain't touch y'all, but some keep telling me you don't fuck y'all. And I ain't that bitch you wanna play with. Nigga, drop the box, so let me smell your dick. Why you coming home 5?
See, she suspects
Something's going
he's
on.
unfaithful.
Can I smell your dick? Don't play me like
tell
a
where.
fool.
That's her.
That ain't
Forget
cool.
it.
So what you need to do is let me smell your dick. Why you coming home 5 in the morning? Something's going on. Can I smell your dick? Don't play me like a fool. 'Cause that ain't cool. So what you need to do is let me smell your dick. Wait a minute, hold up.
Okay, Scott, you've thoroughly disrupted my meditation for the evening. If I wanted to go to a ghetto gagger room, I could go to a ghetto gagger room, Scott. Please don't replicate
What's that?
Clubhouse. Don't replicate Clubhouse into your musical into your DJ producer.
Did you ever notice how many really stupid people you run into during the day? God damn, there's a lot of stupid bastards walking around. Carry a little pen and pencil with you. You wind up with 30 or 40 names by the end of the day. Look at it this way. Think of how stupid the average person is, and then realize half of them are stupider than that. And it doesn't take you very long to spot one of them, does it? Take you about 8 seconds. You'll be listening to some guy, he's saying, "This guy is fucking stupid." Then there are some people that are not stupid, they're full of shit. That doesn't take very long to spot either, does it? Take you about the same amount of time. You'll be listening to some guy and say, "Well, he's fairly intelligent." He's full of shit. Then there are some people, they're not stupid, they're not full of shit, they're fucking nuts. Dan Quayle is all three.
I'm cranking up some content.
Wait, I have to ask Adrian a question. I was trying to decide which picture on Twitter would most entice Adrian Dittman, and I was like, I didn't know if it was this one or this. I'll put another one with my glasses where I look sort of nerdy. So.
Yeah. Maybe even like
So-
hold up a sign that says "I love Adrian Dittman" and take like a selfie with like a piece of paper that says "I love Adrian." You know, like "I love Adrian, I love X." Like that would actually probably work. Or say, "I love the conversation and I want to chat with Adrian." Like hold it up on a piece of paper, take a selfie with it, and use that as your PTR, and then post it and tag Adrian and like say, everyone should listen to the Adrian Dittman podcast, and he will bring you up. but use words like actually call the show out. Like you got to really sell yourself as being like somebody who wants to talk, and be
Okay.
because you have to like basically confirm your identity. Like he's, but if he sees a message like that, he'll be like, oh my god, somebody like wants to come up and talk to me. Like, hello, Rachel, my name is Adrian Dittman.
Okay, then there's this picture, but I didn't know which one was better. Because I don't know if he goes for nerdy chicks or what.
Yeah, tell your kids that you're trying to woo Elon Musk so you guys can retire like tomorrow, but you'll have to sign a prenup. I should actually just post an ad on Craigslist to find influencers, and then use them to go into X and like to basically Diddy and Jeffrey Epstein Elon through the conversation. Like get him to like pull girls up and talk to them. Oh, that'd be so funny.
Rachel down there being mean to Scott over here.
Poor Scotty has taken so much abuse at the hands of ruthless clubhouse infiltrators or interlopers. Scott, do you know what the difference is between an interloper is and an infiltrator? Hello, Scott. Hello? Oh, he must be sleeping now. We put him into a deep pre-hypnotic state of Scottism.
Dang, I'm hungry and I don't want anything in the house. I hate when I'm hungry like that. Why do we do that to ourselves? Like, we never want what we have. Whether that's... we always think the grass is greener on the other side.
Okay, I'm going to read a book because I'm getting exhausted. And this is going to be my way of... See, this is the thing I like about Adrian Dittman is I can stop talking and just listen and record and know that I'm creating product. And he does all the talking and he takes all the responsibility off my shoulders by being retarded. I just love it. In Elon Musk's irresponsibility, and he even admitted it yesterday, he's like, yes, maybe it is not honorable to come on here till 4 a.m, yelling, hollering. But I love it. He said that yesterday. I was like,
yeah, I know, I heard.
So, in his irascibility, I am redeemed. Scott, what do you think about that? Is Elon Musk the new Jesus Christ?
It's funny because there's a story idea I have, and it's kind of complicated, but I'll just say the part that's relevant is it's kind of like these elite, powerful people have got a hold of this technology that like makes us see what we want to see, and so like people who believe in Jesus will see him, and then people who are Elon Musk fanboys see Elon